Hi everyone, this is my video response for the week 2 discussion of the Kolb learning styles. So question number 1 asks us to share the result of our learning style and whether we agree or disagree or why. So after taking that 80 or so question test on our learning styles, I was given the assimilating learning style, the watching and thinking. And the assimilating learning style is the one in between kind of abstract conceptualization and reflective observation. So I do feel like I agree with the learning style that I was given because it explained in the video that was in our week 2 lecture material that this learning style prefers more of a concise approach, a logical approach. They enjoy to work by themselves. They're analytical. They would, understand like a wide range of information. And they like to take that information and put it in like concise, logical formats. I definitely agree with that. I'm a very type A person. And right now in my current role, I work as a case manager for intellectual and developmental disabilities, which actually does require a really type A person because I'm dealing with Medicaid insurance so much, and there's so much paperwork that has to be very perfectly organized, and it's a lot of independent work, and I enjoy that part of my day a lot, where I get to put my headphones in and just do independent work. I also tend to be a little bit of I don't want to say like a control freak, but a little bit like a perfectionist. So I don't love working in groups or in teams very much. I see the benefit of them. And there are times when I like to, probably only when I work with other type A people. But I can get really frustrated working with other people. I tend to be very perfectionist-like in my work. The one thing that I don't think I agree with, or maybe I'm just not accepting of or understanding of myself enough about, but in the video attached to this week's lecture, it had, the different learning styles in that kind of visual. And then at the top, for the first 2 learning styles, it would say, they're, team driven and they're emotional. And at the bottom, which included the assimilating learning style, which is my learning style, it said individual and unemotional. So, I do enjoy individual work, but I am driven, like my work is driven by like emotion, a lot like how they mentioned the Diverger is driven by emotion. I feel like I share that a little bit, but I do enjoy individual work. So I also just found it interesting that the Diverger style is so connected to social work. They mentioned that like the majority of individuals that work in social work have that learning style. Because at least my immediate circle of coworkers are all very type A. And I feel like we perform pretty well in a social work role, but I can definitely see how other learning styles would be really appropriate for various different types of social work, because social work is obviously a very broad field with a lot of different employees and different positions that you can work in. Question number 2 is, how would you use this information to improve your current or future supervision? I feel like this would be an interesting one that I could take to my supervisor and try to, I guess, inform her and me more about how we can be helpful with our sessions, because my supervisor I would not say has this learning style. She is more of a type B person. She's very feeling driven rather than logical driven, which is helpful and important, and she does amazing work. But I think because of our large difference in learning styles, I do struggle sometimes in supervision, because I think I could benefit a lot more from a logical approach in the teaching environment that is supposed to be the supervision session. So I think if it was a little more tailored to my learning style, I might get more out of the session. So yeah, I think it could be really interesting just to bring this information to her knowledge, and then maybe we can see how we can structure our supervisions differently, because usually our supervisions are pretty unstructured. It's just, how is this making you feel this week, and how is, which is helpful, and I benefit from that. But I think it would be nice to have very structured outlines for supervision, and yeah, like really concise goals and objectives. I feel like I would get a lot out of that. So yeah, this was a very interesting experiment, and it was fun to learn that about myself. Thanks.